The 1986 Liverpool Victoria Insurance Super Bowl, held at Granada's new studio complex in Manchester, Stage 1. The tournament has the world's richest first prize for bowls, £12,000. At the start, 32 players were competing for a total prize money of £34,000. And features the world indoor champion, Britain's Tony Alcock, who was also the pre-tournament favourite. Brian Duncan, Crown Green bowling's finest exponent for over 20 years, and the reigning Waterloo champion. From Scotland, there's Willie Wood, who trimmed down by over a stone just for this tournament. That's how important the players regard it. And from Ireland, there's Jim Baker, some would say the world's most accomplished indoor bowler, former world indoor champion, and the 1985 UK singles winner. We begin with the exciting second round match between another Irishman, David Corkill, and the 1985 Super Bowl champion, Crown Green's Noel Burrows. The commentators, Tony Alcock and Brian Brett.
All eyes on the Irishman and this peculiar stance, delivery, but very effective. David Phillips, the marker, indicates that this last delivery up from David Corkill is the shot bowl. Burrows' line looked all right. He's got something to rest on, of course, there. Just not quite right. Corkill, a similar line, a similar shot to the Burrows one. Has not got the strength. Well, Burrows won't worry too much about the geography, providing this bowl finishes closest to the jack, giving it more to do. Pushed it out wider. Can it work that much? I would have thought not. But not bad to have one just at the back there. Plenty of action there, animated, and changes the hand. He's going to get into the head. Oh, yes. Yes, this first set swung around. 2 to Corkill, 2 to Burrows, 2 to Corkill. Now the chance of 3 to Corkill. And Burrows knows all about it. He's up against it right at the beginning. He can still draw. Working now. On the way. Can it stop? It's got to stop. He's out. He's gone out. It's a long, lonely walk, and there might be a horrible surprise waiting when he gets there. Yes, confirmed. 3. David Corkill. And that's enough to give Corkill the first set against the champion 7-2, and that after only 4 ends. Yes, we liked this one, Tony, didn't we? There didn't seem room, did well, beautiful. And then just tipples, just look at that position, just rubbing the jack. Burrows, this time still with running in, taking a narrower line. Got it, he's got something. What's the outcome? Yes, got it, beautifully. Counting 1. That's more like it.
Yes, a positive bowl from Noel Burrows, taking the shot bowl and glancing the jack to the back and putting himself in a very nice position. 1 measure for 2, but far better position than it was before.
This is an important bowl for Corkill because he's got to get in. He's got to try and save. If Burrows can count 2, then the second set's his. And Burrows still has a bowl to play. This is some bowl. Needs to stop. Yes, that counts. He's going to change the hand. He's coming the other way. Saw the way Corkill came. Didn't really like it, and he's trying this one. You've got to stop. He needs to rest on something. Yes, so now then, if that falls back.
The crowd's expecting a drive from David Corkill now, as they've spotted this bowl here at the back belonging to him.
Yes, they all know what's coming. The cannon, and there it is. Now then, what has he got? He may have the gap. No, he's taken the jack off. Mark, David Phillips trying to sort things out down there.
Here's the driving shot from David Corkill. Rub off the front bowl, pushes the jack through to the ditch, and in a very good position now. Shade fortunate with that result. There's the jack in the ditch, and right next to it is the live bowl of David Corkill.
Well, 1,200 people around this rink, arguing among themselves, just trying to sort out what's going on. But certainly Corkill lying, the wood in the ditch live, and Burrows will know all about that. Well, then how close in can he get? Not close enough, not close enough, because Corkill's still lying 1.
When the jack and the bowl are so close together in the ditch there, you're almost facing an impossible situation, as the jack is some 3 or 4 inches below the green. So if you were to stop on the edge of the green, you would almost be overlapping to enable yourself to score. Very, very difficult shot.
But if Corkill can couple up here at 6-4 with 1 in the ditch and a live one in the ditch at that, and another here, You can get all square in this second set. Now, has he got it right? There's a frown. Is he right? Well, he's got to stop on. Yes, yes, that's good enough. That's two. That's two to Corkill. Now then, any clue there in that reaction? The line good. The line very nice. Yes. Corkill's back with another corker from Corkill. There's the balance, that's the style. It's a style he's changed to play indoor flats. Now, is it right? It's got a chance. It's got a chance. Yes, needs to topple. But even so, surely that's the shot wood. It's marked.
David Corkill can hardly believe it. Just when he thought the game was in his hands, he was taken by a brilliant bowl. Noah Burrows just trailing the jack round and snatching it from David Corkill.
Yes, it swings and roundabouts now, isn't it, this game? You've talked in the past about the unpredictability of Crown Green bowlers, but they pull out the shots now and again, and they're beautiful shots. He's happy with the shot, but not the situation. Certainly a lot happier on this forehand. That's a narrower draw, a narrower line. The danger being he might cut across the head. He needs to promote his own. Oh, pick the jack. He's unlucky. And that is good enough to give Noel Burrows the second set. Just one shot. Second set to Noel Burrows. 7-6. One down. A wick to get him lying shot. Seventh end. But it looks a reasonable target. He's got something to aim for. And Corkill likes it. Is into a trot. And the wood's working and he's counting three. Brilliant shot. Marked. Yes, confirmed as 3 against the champion. He has 2 woods left. Corkill 1, and perfectly happy with what he's got so far, and that's 3 in his favour. He needs 2. But it's a tight end. It's a very encouraging end. Now, if Burrows is right, he can promote one of his own into the count. Well, he must have cut it back. Cutting it back to 2 is not good enough either, because that's exactly what Corkill wants to put the champ out. He's going to stop there for this last bowl coming from David Corkill, he himself having the final bowl of the head.
David Corkill will probably leave well alone this head, as Noah Burrows has very little advantage. It's got to be inch perfect, his last ball.
Well, the approach is cluttered. The backwood is a safety one. Corkill lies with 2. He needs exactly 2 for game. And Burrows has got to pull out the shot of his life to stay in Superbowl 1986. Or it's goodbye at the second round stage for the champ. Thinks there's room. thinks he can get through. Gone for it. Got a connection. But is it good enough? It's not. It's all over. The champ goes. Remarkable final set. 7-1. Corkhill got that final set, having won the first 7-2, lost the second 6-7, but the champ is out. Noel Burrows goes out to the Irishman.
Corkhill, appearing in his first Super Bowl, was acclimatizing well. Next, it's Jim Baker, and one of the best matches of the week against Brian Duncan. The commentators, Tony Alcock and Hugh Johns.
Brian Duncan, twice winner of the Waterloo, the biggest prize, the most prestigious prize in the game, and he's got a beautiful ball. Oh, what a cracker.
Here's that shot again, just reaching round the forehand, tapping his own board slightly, which nudges the jack to his blue ball. Perfection.
Well, what a match this is turning out to be. Jim Baker, who must have thought he had this match, or this set rather, in his pocket when he raced to a 6-0 lead. Since then, Brian Duncan has been at him. Now, Jim, with weight, got it. Now, the jack's in the ditch, but it looks very much as though the blue bowl is still counting. Well,
there's the jack.
Yeah, and the blue ball is the closest. And another single for Brian Duncan. Beautiful delivery from Jim Baker. And once again, the fierce determination of Brian Duncan being tested by that delivery. It's been tested before on the flat. Remember the UK singles in '84, he took out some pretty useful flat bowlers on that occasion to reach the semi-final.
Jim Baker gets a bowl in here, he will be facing a very, very difficult situation.
Gorgeous bowl. Oh. And that is breathtaking. Brian is trying so hard, and he's got it. Absolutely gorgeous delivery there from Brian Duncan. Oh, what about that, Tony?
Jim Baker, in true sportsmanlike, applauds that bowl, but just look at that. That's unbelievable.
How much the gap between the crown and flat is narrowing. That's a narrow bowl, and there's no change. Brian Duncan holding one. If this drops in for two, he's taken the match. It's not going to do it. line looks right, but it sails past. Jim Baker looking back up the green at Brian Duncan, who delivers his third bowl. Again, it's on a good line. Again, it's got perfect weight. Again, it is another Super Bowl.
Jim Baker, of course, although facing this situation, can in fact trail the jack into the ditch and be facing 3 shots himself for the match.
Jim coming with some weight. Controlled weight. Missed. Wisely, that's just what he's doing. But he wants it to stop now. Well, you couldn't get a better back bowl than that. There it is, 2-3 inches at the outside, off the edge of the ditch. And Jim Baker has 1 bowl left. This to stay in Super Bowl 86. He's got something. Now, it's a measure.
I think Jim Baker's got it. Jim Baker stands in the middle of the green saying, have I one up or one her down?
Jim Baker handing, or apparently handing, David Phillips a little note saying, now then, make sure you get it right. But this game, which has been so tense, so close, all the way, could be settled on this measure. Brian Duncan, who is a very good judge, actually pointed to Jim Baker then and said, I think you're in. Yes, the red bowl is in all right. Umpire David Phillips measures again to make absolutely certain. And Jim Baker stays alive. It's all about weight. He's got to stick with it. He has. It looks a little wide. It's not going to come back from there. Well, at least it's wound up as a reasonable back bowl, Danny. You could almost hear a pin drop out there. And now the murmurs come up. Now, Jim is not happy about that. Like a very narrow line, and it's not going to be up. Well, it was up, but it was way out. Ah, but the movement of the blue ball, perhaps just a little current of air or something, has tippled the red ball over. Now, is that out? The red ball out or not?
The problem that Jim Baker is facing is that if he actually draws on the backhand as he did before, he may be unlucky and catch the blue ball.
Needs to miss the blue ball. Yes. Well, a toucher for two. A marvellous bowl. And now Brian Duncan faces defeat because he has one bowl left to get it back. Jim Baker, for once, and I think probably the first time of this match, allows himself the luxury of a smile. He's thrown down the gauntlet to Brian Duncan. Said, beat that. It's heavy. If he gets a wick, he's got it. Well, I don't know. I still think there it's probably two to Jim Baker. Let's have a look at that again, Tony.
Clearly, Brian Duncan there was fortunate with that last shot. He was slightly offline with his bowl, clicked the blue ball, wicked across, touched the jack, but it didn't go far enough for him, and he may not have achieved the result he hoped.
I would say without any question that there's two counting red bowls there. It's that one blue against two reds. No, it's that one blue now against one red. So it's one shot definitely to Jim Baker, this for two, and the match. Jim Baker, a good judge. He's pretty confident. David Phillips remarking absolutely to be sure. Yes, the other red ball is knocked out. And the end of a superb game of bowls winds up on the evidence of the tape measure. Jim Baker and Brian Duncan, who've really entertained this crowd. And Jim Baker wins it 7-6.
Jim Baker's next opponent, his good friend Willie Wood. A semi-final over 5 sets. Wood took the first. We join it in the second with Baker leading 4-0. Commentary from Tony Alcock and Hugh Johns.
Well, a fairly straightforward shot for Willie Wood. Nothing complicated. He's looking to draw up and just rest the ball through to score 2 shots. And he's on good line, Hugh.
Yes.
So perfect contact from Willie Wood. Plumb on the bowl. The bowl rolls through. And leaves Willie with 2 great shots.
Well, he's got his woods working well now.
Well, that first delivery of Willie's was absolutely perfection when you're leading 5 sets to 4 in the second set, having won the first. But what a great reply And he's taken it.
Magnificent stuff.
Willie on his backhand. Touch on his short ball would do it. Won't want to cut the jack going away. That's the last thing you want. He's done it. Well,
Hasn't come out of it too badly. I think it may just be one, I don't know. That's all right, he's be happy enough about that.
yes, I feel confident that Willie would drive at this, and I would anticipate that he'll be looking to strike the shot bowl. By going for that bowl, he gives himself a margin of error of either taking the jack through to the ditch or clearing the second shot out.
Well, he's been firing well in this competition so far. Hit his own front bowl. And the result, a total disaster. A wipeout for Willie Wood. And the second set goes to Jim Baker. Controlled weight. Yes. Very, very good delivery. Takes all the close blue balls out, leaves two on.
Here's Jim Baker on the backhand, perfect strike, splits the two blue balls, leaves his own bowl there, and runs through. He'll be pleased with the result. Brilliant bowl, Jim.
But Willie still has one bowl to come. And he will surely feel that he can save the set by getting this one in close enough if it doesn't take the shot to save. And in fact, he's taken the shot with an outstanding bowl, bang on the left. It just topples over gently, tired after that little trip down. Smile on the face of Jim Baker. Controlled running. Got the jack this time perfectly. Goes on into the ditch with it. It's a toucher, so the bowl in the ditch is alive. And Willie's problem here now is to draw as tight as he can and still stay on the green, and did not. It's just showing that he could have drawn four if the jack had stayed where it was. Anything beyond that last blue bowl, which is quite a considerable distance from the ditch, will count for two. Yes, that's all right. Two for Jim Baker. And he takes the third set, 7-6. is a delightful ball to exert more pressure on Willie Wood.
Willie Wood will be looking to try and nudge the bowl here, take the jack away, or alternatively draw a bowl in this direction for second shot. What's his decision?
Well, the indications are that Willie is facing 4 shots against him at this moment. It's got to have some weight. This is a very big count. Four for Jim Baker. And he races to a 6-3 lead. There's a buzz of expectancy around. Best back goal. Now, what does Willie do? There's great friendship between these two great rivals on the green.
After the few remarks with Jim Baker as Willie walks up the green, I know that Willie will be bowling weight on the backhand here, hoping to make connection with the bowl or the jack.
Willie's last bowl on this end. No, he's failed to make it. And once again, Willie Wood goes down in the semi-final of Superbowl. Jim Baker is through to the final. He wins it 6-7, 7-5, 7-6, 7-3.
The second semi-final was between David Corkill and Tony Alcock. It's the first set, and they're all square at 2 each. The world's #1 David Bryant and Hugh Johns in the commentary box.
Something like 21 years of practicing going into every bowl that the world champion Tony Alcock puts up. He won't be too happy about that one. David Corkill, some 5 years younger than Tony Alcock, but he too started early. He was just 10 years old. His father, David Corkill, Sr., highly respected and renowned bowler in Ireland. David. Little short. Still holding the shot.
A backhand draw, Hugh, I feel, is all that Tony can attempt here. Well, he feels different. He's playing a shade of 8. He's trying to take the bowl out. Oh, what a great shot.
And he's at least in for 2.
So the running bowl just clears the front short bowl, pushes the shot away, lays alongside the jack for 2 shots to Tony Alcock.
No, David's not going. David Corker's not going for a back bowl. fact, he's improved the target for Tony Alcock. Looking for total concentration. And he has it. Bang on. He'll go into the ditch with it. And he's got 3 shots, and he's taken the first set. Knows that he has to get it in now. Yes, yes. Yes, I would say that that has probably taken it. Looks in.
David Corco, his backhand, looking just rest the red bowl, or even turn the jack. Either will do. Well, that's perfect. Looks as if he's made free.
Oh, that was a lovely touch from Irishman David Corkill. Tony here, 3 shots against him. How's it going to change? Oh, yes. Oh. So David Corkill comes on the backhand. Well, he's certainly got another shot. But I think he has done just exactly what my partner here, David Bryant, said perhaps he shouldn't do. He's got it too close to the jack.
Yes, the only good thing about it is if Tony does make contact with the last bowl, I think the jack will come over the other side of the rink where David Corco has the best backbone.
Coming with weight. And he has missed it. And 3 shots to David Corkill, and that gives him the second set. He likes the running of that one. He's taken it away from his shot bowl, but I don't think he'll be too unhappy about that, because that's a very much better shot bowl now. He's after it. Deserved a better fate. Disturbed everything, but it's still 1 shot to the blue bowl of David Corkill.
Length is the important factor in any game of bowls, and at the moment Tony has lost his length. He is not bowling with the same conviction, whereas David Corkill is playing better weight.
Yes, any Irish eyes in the audience at the moment are smiling. A subdued look about Tony Alcock at the moment. And Corkill allowing himself just a little expression of pleasure. Tony trying the other way in, and yes.
He needed that one. Looks for the moment as if it's finding a hole, gets a slight touch, topples in and locks against the blue ball. David Corkill sticking to the backhand. He's bowled 3 extremely good bowls on this hand. And although there isn't a lot of room, he feels that he can draw it. He's bowling with such confidence.
He's going to be awfully close. Oh, yes. Well, this Irishman is really electrifying the crowd here with his superb deliveries.
The perfect delivery. Not a lot of room to spare, but he manages it. A better line. Good weight.
Right on top. Tony with weight. And that surely will sow further seeds of doubt in the mind of Tony Alcock, David, that he is not really connecting with his strikes.
Well, he had to drive there. There was little else he could do, and it wasn't a big target. Had it been 2 or 3 bowls wide and missed, I'm sure it might have had a more shattering effect, but you know, single bowl at full length of a full-length jack is not a very big target, but I'm sure he would have been much happier if he had connected.
David Corkill on the backhand. And wisely figuring that he ought to have the best back bowl. Perfectly placed too, because that's the general direction that the jack will go if Tony connects with his last one.
Left Tony in an impossible position now. If he does fire and he gets it and the jack goes through with a touch here, he'll lose the set. He's got to try and play a running bowl on the backhand, possibly onto his short bowl and roll that in. This is good. Well, it didn't break quite right for him. A very good try. Well, Tony caught a length with his first bowl. And give him a little bit of confidence. But David Corkill is not taken off that easily. That's the shot.
It's about 2 inches short.
Two inches short of a length, that is. Not 2 inches short of the jack, which is about to move. No, well, it did very fractionally. The toucher just about stays on the green. Leaves the red ball out there, holding shot. David will come in and take it again. Well, he really is on song, David Corkill.
About 4 inches past it. About 4 inches past the jack.
When you score and take the mat up the green, your opponent bowls 2 length bowls. There's not a lot you can do about it.
Tony's got it again, a double kiss.
David Corkill make his third delivery, having put 2 on the jack. He now has to put another one there. But in all fairness to Tony Alcock, I think he was extremely unlucky, having hit the jack twice, to have not taken in the dish and gone with it. The gods aren't smiling on Tony at the moment. But you've got to give this man full credit for his deliveries. Just look at this.
Bit of style, bit of elegance, and a bit of excitement for the crowd here in stage 1. Once again, his third superb delivery in this end.
Tony going for it.
Made
And he
contact
gets it.
again, goes into the ditch with it. This is the blue bowl that has probably got the shot. The red bowl of Tony Alcock's just down there, and the jack just there. And it was a blue bowl counting, and David Corkill takes the third set, 7-1.
Corkill playing ominously well, and even though Alcock came back in the 4th, the Irishman regained the initiative so decisively that he never looked like losing the 5th and final set. So, to an all-Ireland final between Corkill and Jim Baker. £12,000 to the winner. It's again over 5 sets. We join it in the first, 6-4 to Baker. The commentary team, Roy Armson, Tony Alcock and Hugh Johns.
David Corkill, only one bowl to come, and Jim Baker perhaps favourite here because he'll have the final bowl to this head. David just missed it, but might be resting on his own. No, he's knocked himself out, so Jim Baker does not need to deliver his last bowl. He's got the single that he wants to take the first set. This is very much better. Needing 2 for the set. Missed it. That's an excellently delivered bowl. If the jack is sprung back, the chances are that David Corkill could get the 1 that he wants, but I would think that it would certainly prevent Jim Baker getting the 2 that he wants. But set against Jim Baker at this moment. This to save the set. It's going to be very close. No. That was a little protection in front of the blue ball. single for David Corkill. And the second set, 7-5. Needs a wick. Yep. And that bowl stood up on the end of its travel. Strange in some respects, Tony, that David is not finding it on this hand when he did so well on this hand against you.
When the carpet is slightly faster, the bias has more effect. And I suspect this evening, with it being slightly slower, the bowls aren't quite finishing as they did earlier today.
Well, it looks like a fairy ring of bowls at the moment. That's coming very, very nicely indeed.
That's good.
Holding two, and the bowls so well scattered that Jim can't use weight to change things. Though if he can take that jack clean and run it back, no reason why he shouldn't get 2 or 3 shots out of it. But he's got to find a bowl of perfect line and very, very accurate weight. Well. Oh. Remarkable effort then by Jim Baker, and he came out of that rather fortunately. He could have done a lot of damage. Let's see what the count is.
I feel that was a very risky shot there, because the marker had already indicated that blue held 2 and a measure for 3, and if it's 3, that's the set gone. I'm surprised Jim didn't try for a length bowl there to at least cut the count down. Very surprised to see that bowl there.
And indeed it is 3, and that means it's the set. Fighting for his life now. Very Corkill, his line outstanding, but the length needs some improvement. Looks like 2. Tight. Line looks all right. It's the weight. Not good enough. Really only one good bowl in there at the moment, Tony?
Yes, we've seen a change in length, and both players were playing the shorter end very consistently, and this end it's a matter of who can get on the line and length first. At the moment it's Jim Baker.
Yes. And that's the sort of view that the spectators down the rink side get of a bowl going into the head.
We haven't seen many bowls bowled on this forehand, but this is a perfect one. Line and length, everything that he wanted.
David Corkill then, who lost the first set in just 4 ends, 7-4. Won the second, 7-5 in 6 ends. And then won the third, 7-3 in 8 ends. Jim coming with weight. Forehand. Makes some contact, but not to his advantage. Looks to me as there could be three down. It's 2, but he has a bowl to come. Yes, there's 1 red bowl in there, and if somehow or another he could get that red bowl out, he could be in for a very substantial count. We've had 2 4s going in this direction. Jim Baker opening up the very first end with a 4. And in the third end of the first set, David Corkill scored a 4 going this way. No, he's just drawing in to make it 3. A very positive opening by David Corkill. 3-0. David Corkill, 3-0 in front here in the 4th set.
I noticed Jim Baker slightly shaking his head then. It's been 2 consecutive bad ends for him, losing three shots both times. I wonder if he can pick himself up and get right back into this game now.
Well, he's got to battle. He really has got to battle now. Bowling with a great deal of bubble. Oh, unlucky. Actually falls back for shot, but I'm sure he felt that. Well, I don't know. Marcus Stanley McIlroy can't make up his mind. Just missed the line again, but rests back. Certainly has the shot now.
Although David Corkill's facing one down, the way David is playing, he'll sure to get the shot here with this bowl. Bowling good weight.
Pushed it a long way out. And draws the shot. Jim Baker really can't afford to let David Corkill get a substantial lead here in the fourth set. Jim very narrow, hoping to shift the shot bowl and stay. And he did it.
This is a brave shot on the backhand from Jim Baker, and this will prove to be a vital one, putting David Corkill now under pressure.
As the guess is that could be two shots there for Jim Baker. Might even be three. So David Corkill has got some retrieving to do. Drew nicely on this hand last time up. Coming with a bit of weight. Oh! Well, he was rather fortunate to come out of that way round. He could easily have trickled that much tighter to the red bowls. Still looks like three shots to Jim Baker, Tony. I don't know.
Yes, it's two, possibly three. David Corkill was slightly fortunate with that, playing far more weight than he would wanted. Jim Baker now has a chance, if he can turn the blue bowl out, to collect 4 shots. He'll be playing on the backhand.
It's not going to come back. So now it's up to the bowlers to decide how many are to be recorded to Jim Baker. Two it is. The score 3-2 to David Corkill. Well, that's dropping in for a third. And it's not at all easy for Jim Baker even to use weight here to disturb things.
No, unlike in the other sets when Jim has taken a risk, Jim will be looking for second bowl here, will be trying to beat one of the 3 bowls around the jack. This is absolutely vital that Jim Baker gets in with this bowl.
3 against him. Jim Baker's last bowl to the head. David Corkle has a bowl to come. Shifted one out, but the road open for David Corkle to drop another one in which case he would have a 6-2 lead and total command of the match. And there's big money at stake here. £12,000 for the winner in a competition with £34,000 at stake for the 32 bowlers who set off last Monday with high hopes. Yes, they're waving and calling that in. Bingo. 3 shots. 6-2. David Corkle leads in the 4th set. And he's leading by 2 sets to 1. And this set becoming a total disaster for the former world champion Jim Baker. 2 threes. Only 3 ends played in this 4th set. And there's got to be a bubble of a smile in the eyes of David Corkle, the bachelor boy from Belfast. A civil servant in the Northern Ireland Health Board, who's handing out some very uncivil treatment to his fellow Irishman, Jim Baker. And that's not a bad ball to deliver when you're shooting for the match, the title Super Bowl champion, and a cheque for £12,000. Jim goes sailing through. The weight all wrong again. Vast audience hushes again as David Corkle stalks away to the right after his delivery and drops another one right in on the target.
Jim has nothing to lose here. He should be reaching this bowl in the hope that he can trail the jack to his own.
Well, the head disturbed, but what could well be the winning bowl is still in there, nesting alongside the jack. It is very open at this moment, and David Corkle will want to get some protection for it.
Big problem facing David Corkle is that he has one very good shot. It's only a single bowl target. He needs to get another one near, but not too near. Can't afford to make the target any bigger.
Oh, well, that is just what he didn't want. Absolutely got that wrong. He wanted it in behind the jack, and the target is now very, very wide indeed. I really can't believe that Jim Baker will miss this.
He certainly won't be short at it.
Gracious me, he only took one out. Well, that's unbelievable. I felt sure that both of them had to go.
That's unlucky too. In fact, that is a better shot than perhaps it was before. There is a lot of holes, and if Jim Baker wants the shot this end, he'll have to draw it.
So, Jim Baker purses his lips. Man who takes his bowls so seriously that when he married, he actually took his wife on honeymoon to a bowls match. I have to add that it was in Australia, so it was a lovely trip. David stalking away after that.
Tactically, that is a brilliant bowl. It is second shot, so if Jim Baker plays the shot bowl out, he'll have to stay if he wants it. Jim Baker has no other shot but to draw, or alternatively try a single bowl target at the jack.
David Corkill can hardly look. On this delivery from Jim Baker, the championship can be decided. He's going for the jack. And he's got it. No, he's missed it. It looked so good for the moment. And then it wavered and stayed out. And David Corkill draws a standing ovation from the Super Bowl crowd and a handshake from his fellow Irishman, Jim Baker. David Corkill wins this match. 4-7, 7-5, 7-3, 7-2. 3 sets to 1. David Corkill adds his name to the list of champions. The first competition won by David Bryant, the second by Noel Burrows, and now David Corkill puts his name on the beautiful trophy put up by Liverpool Victoria Insurance for Super Bowl 86.
First of all, we'd like to welcome once again the chairman of Liverpool Victoria Insurance, Mr. Ken Wilkinson. First of all, the runners-up check for £5,000. Second place in this year's Super Bowl, Jim Baker. Just before we welcome our 1986 champion, there's something I must tell them, Jim, isn't there?
No, don't mention it.
Jim Baker at the start of the week placed a bet on who he thought would be the eventual winner of this tournament. A 33-1, David Corkill, and there's the slip. He's not about jizzy, but I can tell you one thing, he fought very, very hard tonight, but his opponent was the better player on the night, our 1986 champion, the Super Bowl trophy, the cheque for £12,000, David Corkill. David, many congratulations. What does this mean to you?
A lot.
You've never won a major indoor title before. You certainly pick your moments, don't you?
Yeah, well, I knew the odds were good.
What about a word for this crowd? I mean, magnificent all week, and they were excellent again tonight.
Tremendous. You know, they, ever since the first match with Pat Davies, they really got behind me. And I couldn't ask for better support anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Oh, I think you can all take a bow. Now, what about a word for the folks back home in Northern Ireland, particularly your father, because he certainly helped in your preparation for this tournament, didn't he?
Yes, we worked very hard, actually, last week before it, but he'll be pleased. He's a coach, and he knows what it means.
David, many congratulations. The Liverpool Victoria Insurance Super Bowl champion for 1986, ladies and gentlemen, David Corkill.